The Malawian government has released a statement in which they seem to be accusing our authorities, the South African authorities, of treating their president, Chakwera, with disrespect when he was trying to leave our country after a state visit last week. Liesl Louw-Vaudran is a senior researcher at the Institute for Security Studies. Liesl, good afternoon to you. I mean, this is an astonishing statement from the Malawian government. They seem to be making quite serious accusations of, I suppose, disrespect towards our government.
Yes, absolutely. The statement is around the fact that this presidential plane at Waterkloof Airport was then searched and held up for a couple of hours, 7 hours. The president, after his state visit on Friday, then couldn't leave. They say that this was improper, the way the president, was treated. So what seemed to have happened is that the police got note that Bushiri and his wife had left the country, and there was this serious suspicion that he might have left, or was planning to leave with the president. But it's very, I think, embarrassing and unfortunate on both sides, because Lazarus Chakwera has just come to power in June this year. He's the new kid on the block, I would say, in SADC, not from a former liberation movement. He comes on a state visit to South Africa, one of the rare state visits, with COVID-19 and so on, and then this happens. So for him it's unfortunate. At the same time, the Bishop, Prophet Bushiri has been very provocative, arriving in Malawi on television, on Facebook, etc. So, he also hasn't slipped quietly back into Malawi, and that's why I think it's embarrassing almost for the Malawian authorities also, even though they feel disrespected, as you say, by South Africa.
I mean, this is all the hallmarks of real trouble, because we have a SADC protocol and agreement that should allow us to extradite people. But I've heard legal opinion today that suggests that Bushiri is actually very well informed from a legal perspective. I'm presuming access to the best possible legal and other advice, and in which this suggests that Bushiri, it may actually be impossible to extradite him back here.
Yes, it would need the cooperation of the Malawians, and that's why I think this whole issue should be handled with care. And, what people say on social media and so on, of course, inflamed this whole issue. So if there was going to be, the best outcome for both countries would be that Bushiri is arrested and brought back to South Africa to stand trial. But it seems as if, as I said, on both sides, emotions are running high. We have the case of the Mozambican former finance minister, Michael Chang, who is in South Africa. Also, there's a request from the Mozambicans to extradite him. He's been here for 2 years now, and we still haven't got any clarity on that situation. So this issue can also drag on for a long time, despite SADC protocols, etc. It would, I think, rest upon the good relations between the two countries and the political will, basically, to make sure that justice is seen to be done and that this trial can continue.
I mean, diplomats are paid to smooth things over, and I'm sure there's plenty of back-channel stuff happening. The problem in this case is that for things to be smoothed over, someone needs to tell Bushiri, he's a religious man, but to keep quiet. I was going to say shut up. The problem is that he won't. His very nature, and in fact his reason for existing, is to keep speaking. So every Sunday there's going to be a South African official who's going to be very angry.
Yes, maybe even every weekday, because as I say, I've been watching the videos, that was on broadcast on television after he's come back. So extremely provocative, and I'm sure the South African officials are extremely unhappy about that. But of course, he is extremely powerful, has got a lot of money. I mean, the rumors that he had financed election campaigns of various candidates. There are even some who say he's got a diplomatic passport. So, and he obviously thinks he's pretty much untouchable within Malawi. But perhaps this will be a gesture by President Lazarus Chakwera to sort of show also that he's on board with SADC. Malawi is chairing SADC from August next year. So good relations with South Africa will be extremely important. Whether enough efforts will be made to resolve this issue in the next couple of months, remains to be seen, I think.
Liesl Louw-Vaudran, really appreciate the time. Thank you very much indeed. Senior Researcher at the Institute for Security Studies. A fascinating story to watch.